Hello and welcome to City Beat. We are your central source of news and information for the city of Rocky Mount. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, and today's show is all about litter prevention. And when you think about that, you think about Keep America Beautiful of Nash and Edgecombe counties, and they do an excellent job of launching and maintaining programs that keep our community attractive. So joining me on the show today, we've got Keep America Beautiful members May Parker. We also have James Alston and Cornelia McGee. So I'm going to start with Cornelia. Welcome to the show, because I think, first of all, that Mr. Alston and Ms. Parker, this is your first time joining us, so welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Correct. Thank you.
Great having you on City Beat. Cornelia is a pro. She's been up here all the time. But tell me, Cornelia, what is Keep America Beautiful, and what role do each of you play within that organization?
Okay. Keep America Beautiful of Nash and Edgecombe counties is a local certified affiliate of Keep America Beautiful Incorporated, which is one of the nation's largest community improvement organizations. And we've been around since 1987. At that time, we were known as the Clean Team. And in 2000, we became affiliated with the Keep America Beautiful program. And our focus, of course, is litter prevention, recycling, and community beautification.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what you all do within Keep America Beautiful.
Once that happens, we start to the upcoming events. We discuss that and determine what materials that we need and how we're going to distribute the materials out, and how we can help implement the program that's coming up, the coming up events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Ms. Parker?
Well, we work with our people. With people in all communities. We have a wonderful program called our Litter Index, and sometime during the year we go out and check all the neighborhoods and the highways. We make sure we talk to people at church to get them organized to have a cleanup, and we're out there ourselves cleaning up, which encourage other people to do the same.
That sounds great. And I failed to mention that you're president of the Holly Street Neighborhood Association.
Yes.
So you're really involved. Mr. Alston is chairman of the Keep America Beautiful board. So you all are really deeply involved and have a great passion for litter prevention. Yes. And one of the big events that you all do every year is the Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge. And that's really the focus of this segment, to talk about that. Cornelia, what is that challenge? When is it? Give us the specifics.
Okay. The Twin Counties Big Sweep actually takes place September 16th through October 16th. And the Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge is actually an activity that's part of the Twin Counties Big Sweep that will actually take place on the first Saturday in October, October 1st, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're asking volunteers to meet at Battle Park Boat Ramp here in Rocky Mount, and also Shallow Landing in Tarboro. And basically all we're asking the volunteers to do is show up. We're going to provide the supplies, and the supplies include gloves, safety vests, trash grabbers, and bags. And we'll also provide some light refreshments as well.
Oh, that sounds good. And it's from 8 a.m. until noon.
Yes.
So don't forget Battle Park Boat Ramp, the end of Battle Park Lane, and Shallow Landing as well. So looking forward to that. Mr. Alston, Cornelia was telling me a little earlier that in addition to being chairman for Keep America Beautiful, you're commissioner, town commissioner for Castalia. Has litter traditionally been a big issue in that area?
Litter is always a big issue. One piece of litter is too much. And we try to sponsor programs, and we also get the Boys and Girls Club involved in it. We also have community service workers that get involved in it, so they can carry the knowledge and all out into the community, so we can develop all that we need to keep the community clean.
And Ms. Parker, what have you been doing to kind of lead efforts in the Holly Street area?
Well, we organize, we have meetings, and we do cleanups. We do cleanups, really. I've been doing this for over 20 years, right? And I know that it works. One time there was a lady, and her yard was it was just terrible, right? So I was all dressed up in my uniform with the vest. I go into her yard, and I was cleaning it up. She thought I was a prisoner. And she said I was the best cleaner that she had ever had. And she was going to write a letter on my behalf. And I said, well, what would make it a big difference if you would keep this yard clean and encourage your neighbors? Till this day, she has a beautiful yard. So that's what we do. We try to encourage people to clean up their homes and their surrounding and encourage their neighbors. And we've done it. I'm so proud. of a lot of things we've done in the Holly Street. I think we have educated the older people and some of the young. So we're not, there's not so much litter as it has been in the past. So I'm very proud of that.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
I
is
knew
my
you had
favorite.
been at it for a long time because
Yes.
everybody knows May Parker.
Yeah.
You do. Now we've been doing the Twin Counties Big Sweep for a really long time.
Yes.
How was it last year?
Well, last year was a little different. One of the things that we did last year for the challenge, the Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge, we were trying to provide an incentive for the volunteers. Hopefully, in turn, we would get more volunteers to participate. That incentive was a cash prize. And so we gave away more than, or approximately about $2,000 in cash prizes to volunteers that either retrieved the most litter, retrieved the heaviest weighted litter item, maybe had the most volunteers to participate, and we also even gave a prize to the neighborhood groups. So we were also in challenging neighborhood groups to participate in the challenge as well. Now this year's event will work a little differently because we won't offer the incentive, but it's still in a challenge because we're challenging communities, neighborhood groups, businesses, school groups, churches to become involved with the cleanup. We want to double our numbers from last year's event. Last year we had more than 220 volunteers to participate, and we beautified 27 sites here in the Twin Counties, and we retrieved an estimated 3,190 pounds of trash. This year, I'm hoping that we can see a double. Our goal is to double that number from 220 to maybe at least 500 we would like to have. So we would like to more than double that number. So I'm encouraging everyone to challenge their friends, their family, their neighbors to come out on Saturday, October 1st and participate in the challenge. If for some reason if their schedule doesn't permit, I encourage them to become involved with the Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge or event that's going on right now, September 16th through the 16th of October. And also, Mr. Austin may be mentioning it later, but there's also a community cleanup in Castalia. So I want to commend him for taking on that effort and coordinating that on the 15th of October.
Okay, well, she called you out already. Is there anything else you want to mention about that cleanup effort?
Yes, and we will be sponsoring that on October the 15th from 10 until 12 p.m. And we want the community to come out and support it. And our community really, really helps us support that KAB, Keep America, and the Keep America Beautiful, plus the Clean Sweep.
There are actual events you have within the school system as well, right?
Right. We have a spring event called the Litter Art Show program, which is a great program we had this past school year, or this past March and April. And basically students have the opportunity to take littered items and turn them into beautiful art pieces. We had about more than 310 students to participate in the Nash Rocky Mount schools as well as Edgecombe County Public Schools to participate in that effort. We're looking forward to having this event in 2017. The goal of the program is basically for the students, it's an anti-litter education program where students have the opportunity to learn about litter, learn about recycling, and learn about how they should care for the environment. So students have an opportunity to tackle some of the environmental issues with that project. So it's a great effort. And we also, the Keep America Beautiful program works with the schools in teaching litter education, recycling, and community beautification programs. And we use a program that our national office, our Keep America Beautiful national office, has given to us, and it's called Waste in Place. So we do a lot of waste in place workshops with the schools and with the kids in particular. And quite a few of our schools in the community are also recycling, and so that's a great thing, because the key about the program working with the schools and the kids is that the lessons the kids are learning at school, those same lessons they take home and share them with their families. So it's a great way to educate and increase awareness.
That sounds good. I didn't even realize we had the Waste in Place program. Ms. Parker,
Yes.
anything else we can expect within the next year or so for Keep America Beautiful?
Well, I would love for us, all the entries to our city, I would love for us to beautify those entries. So when people are coming off 95, they will see just beautiful flowers, and we'll have a big sign up there say Keep America Beautiful. And I think that will just enhance us because we're growing so beautifully. So we got to think about beautifying as well.
Cornelia, Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge, once again, date, time, location, and how can people get involved?
Okay, Twin Counties Big Sweep is going on right now. The challenge, Twin Counties Big Sweeps Challenge, is first Saturday in October 1st, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Volunteers can meet at Battle Park Boat Ramp at the end of Battle Park Lane, and also Shallow Landing in Tarboro. You can contact the Keep America Beautiful office at 467-4960. Once again, that number is 467-4960. Thank you, and look forward to having you participate in the upcoming Twin Counties Big Sweep.
Yes, and also, I don't know if you've seen this, but on the homepage of our website, we have a big ad.
Yes.
So you can look at that and click on that for additional information as well, RockyMountNC.gov. Any additional words that you all have to add?
Well, we just hope everybody will come out. One of the most exciting things, we just recently did our Kaboom Park, and we encourage the young people. And so every day somebody's picking up a piece of paper. It is so beautiful. There's no paper, so we hope that we can continue to spread that among our young people. And we hope they will come out. They promise us they're going to come out and help us on October the 1st. So we encourage everybody to do that.
Yes.
Everybody take part, and no matter what neighborhood you live in, when it's no paper, no debris, it's so beautiful.
I just want to say that we started this pollution. It's only us that can stop it. Everybody wants you to live by example. If you started it, we have to stop it. So you get out and expedite what is going on, how we're going to stop it, and how we're going to keep America beautiful.
All right, thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us today. Really enjoyed you as well, so hopefully you'll come back another time. So thank you, May Parker, Mr. Alston, Cornelia McGee, for joining us and telling us more about the Keep America Beautiful of Nash and Edgecombe counties. We're not done. This show is all about litter prevention. We're coming back with our final segment, and we're going to talk about the Community Anti-Litter Coalition. So stay tuned. You're watching City Beat.
When we began kind of tallying things up, particularly as it related to what was important to us, a place where we could raise a family, being close to amenities and having the kind of lifestyle that we wanted to live, it really was a no-brainer that we live here in Rocky Mount.
Really, what sealed the deal for us is we started to see other young professionals with this quality of life that was really surprising to us and that we could easily afford and enjoy, and it just became more and more evident that there were more and more young people living here because of the opportunity and the quality of life that they saw.
What's special about this place is that you really have the opportunity to make an impact. And I think that is something that at least has driven my life and career and purpose.
There is something for everyone. Whether you're a young professional, there's young professional group. If you're really about your faith, there's lots of different places to worship here.
We really discovered that the Twin Counties is a place where we can build the quality of life that we desire to. The educational opportunities that are here as we start our family, whether it be through public or private schools, the community colleges and private college that's nearby, along with just the overall local entrepreneurs and business amenities that are offered to us, we found that this is a place that we could really get involved and make a difference.
I find the area, I want to say, relaxing, easy to get around, and there are activities if you want to be involved.
The people in this area are so amazing.
It's a lot more personal, experience being in a place like Tarboro than even where I grew up, which is outside of the city, about 50 miles outside of the city. You barely know people in your own development or neighborhood, let alone across town. And we're here, you know half the town easily.
It's a sense of home, that you know your neighbors. It's just a little more relaxed setting than a more metropolitan area or a big city.
For us, rather than sort of struggling to kind of figure out where we fit in Durham or in another big city, I think that we pretty much right away we're able to kind of find some really interesting causes to get to be a part of here. We found some really interesting people to work with here. I think our voices were heard here and are heard here. So I think that really made a big difference for me.
We've now been here 13 and a half years, and I don't believe there's any better place to be, to run a business, to have a family, and to enjoy life.
Hello and welcome back to City Beat. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, and this show is all about news and information from the city of Rocky Mount. If you missed the first segment of the show, it's all about making Rocky Mount look more attractive, and it's about litter abatement as well. So joining me on the show today in our second segment, Cornelia McGee is back, the Keep America Beautiful coordinator. Also joining me, we've got Tim Dutton, the owner of Carolina Tire, as well as council member Chris Miller. And you may not recall this, but it's been almost a year ago. You all were on the show, and I think this is a great opportunity to come back and refresh people's memories, or those who are just tuning into the show for the first time, about the Community Anti-Litter Coalition. You all have been at it for about, a couple of years, I guess?
Yes, I think Tim called me first in December 2014, and we got together and he expressed his concerns, and I shared with him my past involvement with litter cleanup and beautification efforts in our community. It seems to come around about every 10 years, you have to start over. And so we got together and he shared some notes, and he had even designed signs and was prepared to invest some money to send out a mailing to other businesses to get them involved.
Okay, well tell me first off, what is the Community Anti-Litter Coalition?
Well, from its name you can tell that we're all about avoiding litter and getting it picked up and motivating people not to litter our communities. And by coalition, it's a group of people working together for a common cause. And those people, well, Tim's going to share some of those with you, but I knew when Tim approached me that he and I together couldn't do this thing. It's a pervasive problem, a long-term problem. And so we needed partners in this.
And some of the partners, well, of course, the City of Rocky Mount, Nash County Travel and Tourism, Sheila Martin, the Dunn Center, some of our media partners. Tim, you're the owner, Carolina Tire. Why did you decide to get involved? I know Ms. Miller talked a little bit about it.
Well, problems seem to be getting worse. We discussed last year that the Fountain Corrections closed down, and they had done a really tremendous effort on keeping the litter picked up. They're gone. So the problem was getting worse, and there's a real need to try and deal with this problem. And so by having the coalition together, we've got a lot more resources. We've got everybody putting in their ideas, and it makes it a lot easier to try to get something done than trying to do it by yourself.
Exactly.
There's a whole lot of issues surrounding litter, and there's a lot of different approaches that you need to deal with to try to resolve this issue.
And I admire your passion about, all of you have passion about this effort as well. And Cornelia, it's safe to say we've established this partnership. How will the coalition get involved with the Twin Counties Big Sweep? And if you'll just kind of give us an idea of what that Big Sweep is again.
Okay, the Twin Counties Big Sweep is a continuation of the North Carolina Big Sweep, and the focus is on picking up litter along our waterways as well as land. And through the partnership, or with the support of the Community Anti-Litter Coalition, we, the Keep America Beautiful Advisory, or Nash of Edgecombe counties, would like to receive help, or the Coalition is agreeing to pledge their support with promoting the event. For instance, the Rocky Mount Telegram has agreed to run an ad about the the Twin Counties Big Sweep, and some of our partners like Carolina Tire, the Dunn Center, the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce, and WHIG-TV have agreed to distribute postcards about the event. In addition, the Chamber has also agreed to promote the event with their paper billboards, as well as through their e-newsletter, which will hopefully reach their business community as well.
And that's one of the big goals, heightening awareness about litter prevention in the community. But what are some other goals that we may have missed, Ms. Miller?
Well, obviously our mission statement is to reduce roadside litter. And to do that, we try to increase public education and awareness and to emphasize the economic impact on our area of litter on the streets. You know, the city has invested a lot of time and effort in establishing facilities here like the sports complex and like the planned downtown community facility that will bring does now bring and will bring more people to our community, and they spend their money. And you know, they come here and it's ugly and they think we don't care. Why would they want to come here or to move here? We also would like to increase the number of groups that are doing litter pickups and to identify resources that we can bring to the cause, such as Tim's business efforts and the TV and media. And you know, then pulling all that together, we want to reduce the incidence and occurrence of litter in our area.
And you mentioned reducing roadside litter as well. And you think about all of the folks who come to our area, especially with those big events like the barbecue throwdown that's coming up right after the Big Sweep Challenge. So we want to make sure our area looks really, really good. And Tim, speaking of those goals that Ms. Miller just mentioned, do you think that some of these have been met since the coalition has been established? You've only been in existence really for a year, but how do you feel about that?
Well, you know, one of our initial goals was to create more awareness of the problem and try to get people involved. And we've been fortunate enough to secure some billboards to help with that. And our next big focus is, you know, like I mentioned, there's lots of aspects to this problem. We feel like the big thing that we need to focus on at this point is just cleaning it up and trying to stay on top of it and try to keep the litter cleaned up. Last time we were here, you asked me what an individual could do. Well, there's lots of things they could do on an individual basis. They could make donations to the KAB, and Cornelia could give them an address and phone number. What's the phone number if they wanted to call?
Okay. Our office number is 467-4960.
So you could just make a donation to the KAB, and those funds could be used to help with the problem. Also, it would be good if you wanted to get involved in picking up litter, and you can do that in a variety of ways. And Cornelia could tell you how to do it on an organized basis. Like you could get your church group involved. You could get a scout group involved. You could get your neighborhood involved. Or you don't even have to do it on an organized basis. You could do it yourself, going out and just picking up around your house or around your business.
That's a great thing, and I know Cornelia shared some of those ways to get involved in that first segment too. What were you about to say, Tim? I'm sorry.
So anyway, that is our next focus, is just trying to stay on top of it and keep the litter cleaned up. You know, and then maybe later on we can deal more with better ways of preventing it. That's a tough issue right there, but for now we're focusing mainly on keeping it cleaned up.
I'd imagine there are so many steps to this process, just like you said, different phases. And I know one of the first phases before this became publicly known really was kind of doing behind the scenes look at, Thomas Moten mentioned this to me, assistant city manager, looking at the mind of a person who litters. But what's some of that other behind the scenes research that you all did?
Well, of course, when our committee meets, which they've done monthly since this effort began, we talked about things that we might do, and some of them, you know, you want to say don't litter, just don't do it, you know. Yeah. Or trashy people trash. That's the one I wanted to do. But we're advised not to take a negative approach, to try to appeal to people's higher natures. And you ask about research. Tom Moten and Public Works Director Jonathan Boone have done some online research and have come up with psychological studies and case studies of what other cities have tried and what's been successful and what hasn't. And we've tried to learn from that and not reinvent the wheel. So they have been a big help, of course, in doing that research and also in providing the city support for what we're trying to do.
And I guess, I don't know if this is a fair question to ask, but what would success, saying this coalition has really been successful, what would that look like? And really any of you can answer that question, but what would success look like?
Well, I think you kind of asked him that, and he made some suggestions from his perspective. But obviously, if you can see that there's less litter on the streets than you remember there having been, that is some degree of success. Obviously, in a perfect world, no one would litter, you know, and people would secure their loads and they would keep the windows adjusted so that litter didn't blow out the window. But I think the majority of it is just thrown out as a deliberate act. So it's almost like an act of civil disobedience when you think about it, but I don't know that they mean it that way.
No, we figure this problem just isn't going to go away. It's been an issue for decades, and around here it seemed to be getting worse. But I think, you know, basically there's a small percentage of the careless people who are just tossing stuff out their car windows and creating litter on the roadside. If we could get to the point where we could rally more people that are helping clean up than there are that are littering, I think that would resolve the issue right there. So, you know, we've been working on awareness and trying to get people to help by adopting a street or adopt a spot. And if we could get people cleaning up to outnumber the people that are littering, well, maybe it would go away just by doing that.
And one of the things the studies have shown is that a piece of litter tends to attract more litter. And so if you see a piece or two of litter on the street that you travel and it's safe to do so, pull over and get it picked up. You know, carry a bag in your car to dispose of that. And through KAB you can buy the grabbers. Do you remember what they cost, Cornelia?
Yes, $15. The Keep America Beautiful office does have trash grabbers available for $15 if you like to have your very own one to have every time you're out cleaning up. But if you're doing a cleanup, I would also like to just share the Keep America Beautiful office does provide the supplies for the cleanup. And those supplies include the trash grabbers, the orange bags, the gloves, and the safety vests to conduct the cleanup.
Okay, that sounds good. Anything else that you all might want to add?
Well, I think it's also important that one of the things that the Keep America Beautiful office is trying to do is to focus on changing behaviors. And in order to do that, that involves everyone in order to prevent or to stop littering. So first of all, we must all first set the example, one, by not littering, and then we must encourage others not to litter. So we have to educate the community on the importance of not littering. And then also, we have to make sure that we have a vehicle litter bag or some sort of trash bag in our vehicle, so that when we do have trash, we would put it into that bag, and then when we get to the next destination, we would empty that bag. So we want to encourage people to make sure that if they don't have a vehicle litter bag, to contact the Keep America Beautiful office, and we could supply them with a vehicle litter bag and a pocket ashtray, because we want to make sure that we properly dispose of our litter. I think that's a very important thing that we all must do, is to make sure that we take responsibility.
How about the SWAT a litter bug? Or do you have bumper stickers or something that have that message and the phone number on there?
Yes, the state of North Carolina has a program called SWAT a Litter Bug, and that program is geared to, it's a sit-in street program where citizens can identify litter bugs, and basically they would just either do one or two, a couple of things. They could jot down the license plate number, the item that was discarded from the vehicle, when it was done, and then they can either fill out a postcard, and I do have some of those postcards, or you can go online to the North Carolina Department Department of Transportation website and fill out the requested information online to report that litter bug. And basically the state would send a letter out to that person who owns that registered vehicle and basically say that on such and such date a concerned citizen identified or saw you discard whatever item it was out of the vehicle. And basically a letter would reference that it's against the law to do that. It would also, in that letter, they would enclose the North Carolina litter laws as well as that vehicle litter bag that I mentioned earlier. And I think it's also important to mention that a lot of people are not aware of the fine for littering. Based on the weight of the item, your fine could be up to $2,000, a point on your driver's license, which could cause your car insurance to go up, and then also you're faced with community service work. So all of that is outlined in that letter, and hopefully we're hoping that it's an education piece to make that person aware of the importance of keeping our roadways clean and green, but also letting them know that it's wrong and it's not the right thing to do. And hopefully that would put fear in that individual and they wouldn't do it anymore. So it's an education program that the state administers. If you'd like to pick up cleanup supplies, you can pick them up at the City of Rocky Mount Environmental Services Operations Center, which is located at 1221 Thorpe Road. That's next door to the Harrison Family YMCA.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for
thank
joining
you.
us on the
Thank
show
you,
today.
Tamika.
Yeah, we're all excited about what the Community Anti-Litter Coalition has been doing in the community and all of the other things that we're looking forward to as well. So thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hey,
All
thanks
right.
for having us. We
Also,
appreciate it.
thank you for tuning in. Thanks to James Alston and May Parker who joined us a little earlier as well. It's our responsibility, so we encourage you to get involved with Keep America Beautiful. And if you want additional details, you can always log on to our website at rockymountnc.gov. And don't forget to join us for the Twin Counties Big Sweep Challenge on October 1st. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of City Beat. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman.